going on a long flight? You need to get comfortable. My 26 tips for surviving a long flight. Hello everyone, I broke this up into 4 categories. First, we're going to talk about clothing, then we're going to talk about the setup, and yes, you need to set yourself up. Then we're going to talk about food, and then we're going to end it with sleep, because sleep is vital on a long flight. So here we go. Clothing. What I like to do is wear loose clothing. Nothing like what you see right here with this tight white shirt on. Hey, it's not a black shirt, so I'm gonna be good today. But no, loose clothing for sure. I recommend the yoga type clothing that you see out there. That's the best recommendation I can do. In my opinion too, being that the flights do get a little chilly, I like to wear long sleeves, perhaps even sometimes a pullover, but in that yoga type of loose fitting type of clothing. I also like to wear comfortable shoes. And what I mean by that is your gym type of workout shoes, your cross trainers, your running shoes, your walking shoes. One thing I don't really practice, but I hear it's a great recommendation, is to wear compression socks. It really helps with your balance, with circulation. Some people get joint pain, or calf pain, if you will, for walking in long trips in the airport. Also, when you do international flights, you're walking a long way to go check into customs. So some people like to have that extra durability, that extra comfort by wearing a compression sock. The setup tips, you have to be very comfortable. Remember, this isn't a 15-minute flight, throw yourself in, who cares, act unorganized. No, not at all. You want to set yourself quite nicely for that 10, 15-hour flight. Heck, even a 6-hour flight, 5-6-hour flight across the country, LA to New York could be 5+ hours. So why not set you up appropriately and enjoy yourself at ease? First thing what you want to have is you want to have a battery pack, right? I know a lot of the airplanes are having outlets now, but you want to have a battery pack just in case those outlets don't work. And why not charge your battery pack while you're on the airplane? So by the time you get off, you have a full battery pack, put it in your pocket, plug it in your cell phone, have the cord in there, plugging your cell phone along the way when you want to go out on tours when you land. What you also want to do is you want to sanitize the heck out of your particular area. I would grab some sanitation wipes, wipe down the little tray right in front of you, wipe the screen, wipe the seat belt, everything around in your little particular area, the armrest, because again, you're going to be there for several hours. Why not have it perfectly clean? You want to stay organized. This is really vital, and I get so annoyed at people if they're sitting in the middle seat and they bug the heck out of me. What you want to do is you have a carry-on bag and you have a personal item. It's very important. You put your carry-on bag on top. That's where it has your spare clothes, all your toiletry type stuff, everything you personally need that you don't necessarily need on that flight, but you need for your vacation. Your personal item bag, which in my case would be a backpack, sometimes for a lady would be a never full type of purse, a big old purse, or a small little roll-on bag that you put in front of your seat in front of you. That's where you have all your chargers, all your personal items. So there's really no need to get out of your chair to go up on top to look for that other bag, because everything isn't in the personal bag that you're going to have down below on your feet. You want to have all your download entertainment completely done. Have it already on your iPhone, have it already on your iPad, and again, you have your iPad and your personal item that you carry down in your feet. So have all your shows downloaded, your Netflix and things like that ahead of time. You also want to freshen up. This will be more towards the end of the flight. I would bring some sanitation wipes or some other wipes to take care of all your freshen up needs when you have that at the end of the flight. You have that half an hour to go when they make that announcement. I would do it prior to that and just make sure you're cleaned up and ready to rock. I don't really practice this, but a lot of times people bring a change of clothes. I'm wearing my yoga type of outfit, my gym type of loose clothing, and I exit the plane, and I even spend the second half of the day, if I land sometime in the afternoon in Europe or wherever country you're going to be, I would actually check in the hotel and I would use the same clothes because I don't have anything booked that night. I'm more walking around the city and checking out the sights, is really keeping it loosey-goosey. But sometimes people will like to bring a change of clothes. Again, I would bring those change of clothes in their personal item type bag, if you can. As far as bathroom strategies, quite easy. Go when you have to go, right? But with that being said, everyone's going to eat around the same time. Everybody likes to use the restroom, that quote unquote half an hour announcement before they're going to land. So all the bathrooms are going to be full during that time. So anytime that you have that advantage, you might as well just go when you have to go, or just force yourself to go just to beat the crowds. One of the things that I find very important on long flights, and that's because I work out, I'm an athlete, I'll get tight easily. Or if you're the other extreme, you're sedentary, you don't really move at home anyway, you're probably tight, even though you could probably handle a long flight. It is very important that you keep that blood circulating, and you want to continue and add more stretches on that flight. So for example, if you're just sitting there, I would get in the habit, pretend my hands are your feet, and just push off the ground, just like that. There I go, hit the mic, I gotta get used to this. Just push off the ground with your feet. And what you're doing is you're getting that ankle mobility in, you're moving your calves, you're moving your toes, you're stretching out, you're getting blood circulating through your legs because you're just sitting there. And of course, when you get up and go wait for the bathroom, or you need to get a drink of water, I would stretch your hamstrings, stretch your legs, stretch yourself, hands above your head. You're going to one side, going to the other side, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel comfortable. I'm big on stretching my calves and hamstrings when I'm just waiting around. I just assume that's a gimme that everyone should practice. It's really healthy, it keeps the blood flowing, and it's really better for you. That way you don't cramp up on a long flight. Let's talk about food. Food, a lot of times people just bring their own water bottles. I don't practice that. I just assume use the water bottles that you would buy in the airport or buy on the airplane. I stay away from the poured water. I try to stay away from the ice. I just don't know, how often they clean those water tanks on the planes. I mean, with bacteria and so forth. So I just assume start off with a fresh water bottle every time, but feel free to bring your own water bottle, and it's something that's easy for you to carry, that's fine. One of the things too with food is I wouldn't try any new foods in the airport. I wouldn't try any new foods. For the most part on the airplane, I would continue to eat the normal foods that your body's already used to. I would continue to take your vitamins or any probiotics that you're on. I would definitely limit your salt intake, right? You would retain water, high blood pressure, you become dehydrated on the airplane. You don't need to make yourself even worse by taking in more sodium intake. I would also bring your own snacks. A lot of times the flight attendants hand out these salty type of pretzels. They do have some nutrition food on those carts, but I would bring your own snacks, any protein bars, healthy snacks that you normally enjoy anyways at home. I would continue to bring those on the plane. And one of the things that it would transition to the sleep chapter, if you will, with this one, I would eat whenever they serve you. So for example, if they're going around handing out the foods, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's when I would eat. I wouldn't say no to those people. If I'm asleep, what I do is I proactively put my tray down so that way they don't wake me up, or they won't skip over me. They'll actually leave my food on my tray even though I'm passed out because my tray's already down. So that way what they're doing is they're getting your body used to the normal eating time, so when you land, you would be on a normal rhythm. So I would eat whenever they give you the food. Now, as far as sleep, my bias here, I can sleep anywhere. Road trip, I'm passed out in the back of a car. I can take a nap on a Saturday afternoon. That's easy for me to do. I can easily sleep on a plane. I pass out before the plane even takes off sometimes, just the vibration of sitting on the runway. I know you folks out there who can't sleep, you're hating me right now. You're like, ah. But with that being said, a great tip, and I do not practice this tip when I fly back to the East Coast for business. I'll fly the day before. I'll take an early flight out. I'll spend, hypothetically speaking, all day on Sunday or Monday with the 3-hour time change. It ends up being an 8-9 hour flight. And then I report into work and my business meetings on Tuesday morning, maybe join the gang for a Monday night dinner or a Sunday night dinner before all the meetings start. I do not do red eyes really well. But when I fly overseas, I will purposely, and that's my recommendation to you, is take a night flight out. For example, I would take that late afternoon night flight out of LAX, and I would land in a particular spot, say in Europe, late morning, early afternoon. So by the time you actually get out of customs and get to your hotel, it's in the normal check-in time anyways for that particular hotel. And like I said, it's usually kind of a non-event type of day, just get yourself settled in. Now I can go walk around and enjoy the sights and just kind of keep it low key. That's what I would recommend taking a long flight out. Again, fly at night. Make yourself easier to sleep during that long flight. I would limit your blue light, and what I mean by that is technology. Limit your phone, limit your iPad as much as you particularly can to help you go to sleep. Obviously, if you want to watch a movie, you want to binge watch a movie, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're looking to get to sleep, what I usually do is I actually bring paper-bound books. I would say books, but I have an audio book on my iPad. So I would actually bring books that I'm interested in, that I want to continue to read, and they would help me fall asleep, and it makes things a lot easier that way. You also do not want to sit next to the bathroom. The bathroom area is going to have a lot of high traffic. So if you're a light sleeper, that wouldn't be good for you. I personally, I enjoy the aisle section. Many moons ago, I enjoyed sitting next to the window. Now I prefer the aisle. I like to stretch out, sometimes put my foot out into the aisle. The negative to that is you would have someone who's in the middle seat or by the window seat wanting to always step over you and ask you to get up when they have to use their bathroom. But at least when you're in the aisle, you call the shots when you need to get up and stretch and use the restroom. One of the things that we already talked about was the food tray. I purposely keep the food tray down. As I mentioned earlier in talking about food, now it's in sleep mode. Keep the food tray down, that way your food is delivered to you. One of the things they also do is during turbulence, or a lot of times they just go ahead and make the shots anytime you're in your seat, you have to have your seatbelt on. So if you don't want to be woken up to actually put your seatbelt on or your food tray down, I just assume have your seatbelt on, put the food tray down, and then go take a nap. That way no one's gonna bug you to ask you to do those two things. I don't practice this, but I see a lot of people, because I don't need it, I see a lot of people bring their blackout masks, right? It just goes right over your eyes. I've seen it in many different forms, whether you have eyelashes or don't have eyelashes. I've seen a lot of recommendations for different blackout masks. If that applies to you, by all means, you want to practice that. If you're one of those people, I always see those half donuts, neck pillows. I don't do that too. I don't need that. I just put this chair back and I'll be fine. If that's you, then that you need to add that to your list also. One of the things that I do practice, and it's mandatory now as I get older, is I love the noise cancellation big headphones. Of course, the little iPhone earpods, they have noise cancellations on there and they're good enough, but you definitely hear sometimes the engine noises through there. You'll hear baby scream and other people talking sometimes, but the big headphones, they have the noise cancellations. They also sync to your iPads for the movies. They also sync to the technology on the airplane. So I just go ahead and leave them on and I'll just pass out and I won't hear anything. Please like this video and click on the subscribe button and hit that bell button to be notified. And most importantly, feel free to share this video to a loved one.